there's going to be a lot of parts to this, but I'm going to try, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to try and calm down, right? I'm going to try and talk about this, okay? Notice how the ramp right here is looking like sad eyes, right? The side order DLC. So rather than like it be just, you know, like a Nintendo game, like something you would expect from just like a Nintendo game, there's a big possibility if it's not side order, okay? So this is actual Nintendo news, I'm telling you. If it's not side order, if it's not going to be side order, it's probably going to be some other Nintendo title. See, but I have a strong feeling that it's going to be side order. Now, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, the amiibos are kind of expensive if you want to get like the amiibos. The scary stuff is not what my opinion is, you know. Normally what's scary is something that's like coming out of like experiences and stuff. Now, they did there was 2 of these project videos. I tell about them every time. The reason I tell the magnitude about them, okay, is they can change your life completely. That's what I'm saying. There's video game secrets that can take whatever your life is, see what I'm saying? Whatever you are, and change you completely. Because they're that powerful of videos. They're very powerful. The games don't make it easy to find them either, you know, because I mean it's like you're handing, you know, like money to a person. But also in this video, plus it makes sense too that this would happen. The reason this is happening, guys, if you want to know why this is happening, I've spent money. I have to spend money to, you know, access a Nintendo Online membership, you know. So if I don't pay them for my online, I can't play online. Another thing about this, like I want to do a careful breakdown of this, you know, just a careful breakdown of this. This could be, I've been trying to see this for a bit because I'm always on the hunt, you know, I'm just always on the hunt again and again. Did I actually see, which I'm going to use the code name for this, okay, the code name. Did I actually see like a form of drag? Okay, did I see drag? Which drag is pretty crazy, and I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. But seeing drag, the hardest thing about something that moves fast, when a video game goes fast, it goes like really fast. It goes fast and fast and fast. But also it puts like another fast thing, you know, with a slow thing. So it takes a slow thing, but it puts a fast thing that you'd want to pay attention to, that your eye be like, oh, okay, what the heck is that? You know, that's the whole thing by it. But so why is this video important? Why is this video important too? It's using half. It's using the view of half. Side order, you know, that's what the DLC is called. It's called side order, you know. Sucker. But like, here's the thing. If we have 2 video game secrets, see, this is what makes it creepy. If we have 2 video game secrets that are literally working together, if for some reason there is 2 video game secrets from 2 different companies, see, this is how it gets creepy. Imagine that. So basically you have the one person that, you know, plays PlayStation, right? And the one person that plays Nintendo, okay? And they do those specific choices in their life. But that's the thing that we like to talk about when it comes to like things that are like beyond, you know? Because there's always a 2-product principle, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just with video games, it's the market. There's always going to be a 2-product principle. Just a common example, Pizza Hut versus Domino's, right? So that's 2 products. So the whole thing behind like, so how have I gotten adapted to even the X? Is probably a creepy question too. How have I gotten adapted to this X thing? Okay, well, it was a rare occurrence, rare, that it was rare, very rare, that I was gonna say that when they had a Best Buy event and they decided that they were gonna show off PlayStation, you know, because at the time, for me, it was pretty difficult because I was not really focused on that. I was more focused on Mario 64. But the thing that they had is they had Xenosaga. Now, current things, whatever they do currently, they're gonna put a lot towards it to try and sell the product. Okay, so that's what's just gonna happen, and that's how products are gonna do, and that's what they're gonna do. But you have to also pay attention to things too, right? No, Xenosaga. The reason I was very interested in Xenosaga was that there was a gap. Okay, so there was this gap. They had Final Fantasy, they had Pokemon, they had a lot of things. They had Breath of Fire, they had all kinds of things. Shin Megami Tensei, right? But the crazy thing that they were doing with Xenosaga, I think that the reason I even was like looking at Xenosaga was that they were going to use an art style, but when they used the art style of Xenosaga, they were going to keep it to a certain gamer that would attract their eyes. You know what I'm saying? So there's literally a female that a lot of you will watch. You will watch this female. I already know you will watch this female. And what game is she continuously playing? Xenosaga. Okay? So there is literally a female, not me. There's a female that is playing Xenosaga. Now, Xenosaga has a lot of crazy things in it. It has Coco. It has so many crazy things. It has Strawberry's pretty messed up. Strawberry, when you get a little bit older in your life and you actually mature and you start to work and you go through things, Strawberry does happen in your lifestyle. Yeah, there is that. It's just Strawberry will happen. So, but like when I thought about this video, okay, I also wanted to think about this video in a different way. And here's a different thing I wanted to say. Your potential can only be measured by what happens. So them talking about a Tetris kid, right? He could possibly have potential. Yes, he could possibly have potential because he's playing Tetris, right? When you're a kid or when you're a child, your eyes are super good. You got really good eyes. You got this, but it only gets to the eyes depending of the holder. You know what I'm saying? Like only a few kids end up having the eyes where they have the eyes like that. That's why you have like a Super Smash person top an event, right? That's why you have two kids, not one, but two kids facing each other in Pokemon. When you would think an adult would be, you think there'd be an adult somewhere, but you see two kids basically in the finals playing against each other. So the whole thing that goes on, a lot of things go on, just like a lot of energy, a lot of things go on wise, right? What drew me to Splatoon 2, I'll say that quick to you because that's a hard thing that people want to see with the Splatoon thing, because there's different communities. You got an Overwatch community, you got a Call of Duty community, you've got a Fortnite community, okay? So you got all those communities. I was digging when Fortnite, I have to recheck if there's still a motion control way that they can still do with the motion control. I gotta, recheck on that. Overwatch has motion controls from what I've seen. But I'm going to tell you why I've paid attention to Splatoon versus being like a little Nintendo fanboy or whatever, right? I paid attention to Splatoon when there was this common little idea that happened and it kind of made sense. It just kind of made sense. So Monster Hunter came out. Monster Hunter, whenever Monster Hunter comes out, Monster Hunter is a very dominant series. It is, if you talk about in the archives of online gaming, people who play online video games, Monster Hunter is masterclass. It is. It's just complete masterclass. Masterclass online gaming is Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter is a disgusting game. It is a game where people cry. It is a game where people hate each other because they have to work as a team. And if you notice something that's within right now of your generation, that people do not like working as a team, right? So Monster Hunter has a whole entire thing, okay? And I want to tell this. I like to make a video with content. I'll tell you straight up, Asmongold, you're never going to be as good as Monster Hunter as I am. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm bringing content into this. You're not going to be as good as Monster Hunter as me because I did Sword and Shield 2 Lagaricus. You're not going to be as good as that. Nope. But yeah, I admire that you want to try Monster Hunter. That's what I admire. I admire that you want to try and get into that because the idea and the problem with Monster Hunter, see, this is what we're going to talk. We're going to talk about personal stuff right now. People love Pokemon. They love Pokemon so much they hate Splatoon right now. Okay, but why we talk about Pokemon, right? So we're talking about Pokemon because Pokemon and Monster Hunter. So when you go into like the origins of online gaming, it's a pretty dark route to go. You know, you also got World of Warcraft, you got League of Legends, you got a ton of PC games, you got StarCraft, right? You got just a ton of them. But here's the thing. Pokemon has an abundance, okay? So even somebody like me who figures out something, okay, that figures out something in gaming, right? People are still going to love Pokemon. See what I'm saying? So me playing Splatoon right now, let me try. I'm just going to try and tell you what it's like. Me playing Splatoon. And then there's people that all want to play Pokemon. There's a whole entire thing with that, you know? But the way I got into Splatoon, the story behind getting into Splatoon, or the idea of what Splatoon was that when I played your precious Mario 64 game, I had a little bit of an idea of there is something that needs to be paid attention to. Now, if you don't pay attention to it, that's a problem. You got to figure that one out. And I thought Splatoon, at first when Splatoon debuted, let me tell you something. When Splatoon debuted, I was already like, crap, I might play this game and I might not enjoy this game. See, that was the first impressions with Splatoon 1, was I might play this game and I might not play this game. You know, like I might just go back to playing Call of Duty, right? I might go back to Call of Duty because there was Call of Duty Ghost. But see, that's the structure. The structure is you trying to assume what my brain level is about. My brain level is nowhere of an assumption. And now Call of Duty Ghost, if you tell that to the Call of Duty community, by the way, Call of Duty Ghost, and I always check up on my competition, believe it or not. So I checked up on Call of Duty Warzone, right? The whole Call of Duty community misses Ghost. And anybody that tries to argue you with the comments of that they don't miss Ghost is an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody that's like, they'll tell you that they will literally, they would homebrew a Wii U. Homebrewing is modifying a Wii U so they could play Call of Duty Ghost and they could have a little LAN pool. And the reason you play Call of Duty Ghost on the Wii is because you use Wii remote controls. So there's a whole thing. Like when it comes to the Call of Duty community, they want to have joystick versus motion, right? And then PC versus motion, okay? So there's 3 formats. We got the format right here of the PC, right? So we want Wii Remote, PC. We want it all together, you know? We want like a multi-platform gaming of and stick. Because sometimes stick has like so it's always A competitive gamer is always trying to learn what kind of mechanic they're not doing with their controller. You know what I'm saying? So what they could be doing better with their controller, how they could be better at the game, how they could use a control, because the device is what matters. If you notice Ninja is using his mouse, right? So he's using his mouse, but that does not mean anything to a person that's going to be a competitive gamer. A competitive gamer is going to they're going to show you mouse, but then if they find something that they like, they'll probably wait for the time to do that. You have to go out and see an event. I went to a Super Smash tournament, and you'd be surprised with half the things that they do at Super Smash tournaments. They do a lot of things at Super Smash tournaments. They prepare for Super Smash tournaments. They pre-prep. They do all kinds of crazy things to make sure that when they're playing the game. So that's the whole thing. There is also the Super Smash community, which is a pretty big community. That's a big community. But when I think about Asmongold and Maximilian Dood, and I think about both of them, I try to tell you guys this. And the reason I try to tell you these things is not like personal or opinions. It's just the idea. Now, if I wanted to play Tears of Kingdom, I'd play Tears of Kingdom. See what I'm saying? If I wanted to play Tears of Kingdom, I'd go and play Tears of Kingdom. I've played Breath of the Wild. But when you have every single person, the problem with learning with video games is that's what I wanted to bring. Because that kid should be confident that he did pretty decent in Tetris. He should be confident. You have a tiny window. See what I'm saying? Your window is very tiny. It's a very tiny window. And this is what's so creepy about it, is the window is either you're good at video games or you suck. That's what it is. Either you're good or you suck. And guess what? If you look at that female, I don't care about what that news girl thinks. I don't care what she thinks. I'm sorry, honey. That's just the way it is. Either you're not going to take somebody that tried to learn a system. You're not going to do that, you news girl. You're going to tick off a lot of people. The reason it is it's not even like video games. It's what you craft. If you do push-ups right, if you run, if you climb, okay? So some people do stuff that's just really good. Swimming, right? There's different kinds of skills that people craft, all right? So they craft these skills. What I would tell the news girl is I would flip her brain. Let me tell you, news girl, because you can just hear it from me right now. I'm just going to tell you straight up. It's cute you got your little news career. That's cute. But try and be a Monster Hunter player. This is what I'm saying, honey. I'm sorry, honey. You gotta learn the hard way. Try and be a Monster Hunter person. Try and accept that you're a Monster Hunter person. Try and farm material in Monster Hunter. Try and accept that you're gonna go on to an online experience and people are not gonna waste your material away because you're the guy that has to provide the traps. So basically, you're the guy that's farming to make traps during an online experience to make sure that everybody has a good online experience. If you don't have traps, you cannot get hit ratios, and you cannot get desired items that you want to get from the creature. So guess what happens? Monster Hunter is basically what you're doing, honey. You're an hour sitting in a chair. That's what you are. You're sitting in an hour in a chair. So a Monster Hunter person that is taking all the quests, by the way, are very rough. They could be a long time. It depends on how the quest goes. Okay. But even like here's the thing that makes Monster Hunter hilarious. Even when a person tries to figure out or master Monster Hunter has an adept AI. Its AI is adept. So what it can do is even if you're good at Monster Hunter, it will adapt to what you're doing in Monster Hunter and you'll die. So that's where the frustration comes when you have people talking about Monster Hunter is that so why do people hate stories? Okay, why do they hate stories? We hate stories we missed that Monster Hunter had an adept, it had a learning curve. And when it had a learning curve, everybody was actually wanting to play together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was playing Monster Hunter was wanting to play together to see if somebody could help each other out. And there was a whole entire sports community of playing Monster Hunter. So there was a whole entire idea behind Monster Hunter. But think about Monster Hunter is not in the top brackets. See what I'm saying? It's not in the top brackets. It's not in like the brackets of all these other video games we have right now. So when people have their Monster Hunter product being changed, okay, because Monster Hunter product being changed, I'll tell you, you could get a repulsive conversation. There is on Facebook. There's repulsive conversations you can get into because people are trying to play Monster Hunter Worlds, right? So they're trying to play Monster Hunter Worlds, and the reason they're trying to play Monster Hunter Worlds is a disgusting reason. People prefer Monster Hunter Rise. The reason we prefer Monster Hunter Rise is we didn't get Monster Hunter Frontier G. See? We didn't get what we wanted. So we didn't get Monster Hunter Frontier G here in North America. So when Frontier G didn't come here to North America, basically the only alternative is you have to buy a Japanese system, and then you got to buy Japanese online cards. Pretty expensive if you were to do the overall of that. But now here's the thing. Xbox could have had Frontier G, right? So Xbox and PlayStation could have had Frontier G. So it's not even close to fanboyism. Not even close. It was the idea that whatever platform, because it was originally supposed to come to the PSP Vita, whatever platform Frontier G would, if it was to get to a platform, diehard Monster Hunter people like me would purchase the console just so they could play Monster Hunter Frontier G. That's how powerful it is. Monster Hunter Frontier G can take everything that's around you and make you say, okay, I'll go and buy a PSP Vita. But there's the whole what's creepy is the whole allegiance of it. So right now, there's a concern. Here's the concern. The new Monster Hunter game comes out, and it doesn't go smoothly. There's also that. There's a possibility it doesn't go smoothly. But at this time, well, and it makes sense too. I mean, how many rounds can a person, right? How many rounds can a person, not thinking of my opinion, how many rounds can somebody play Call of Duty, play Fortnite, and tolerate to play Call of Duty and Fortnite over and over again, right? And then they're going to jump into a new Monster Hunter game that has a diving mechanic. If you play a diving mechanic over and over again where you're just like jumping in the sky and you're diving, and you do that again and again and again, it gets annoying. I think the annoying part, I'm going to tell you the annoying part is this. Wind Waker, you had all the time you wanted to jump around and fly around. Wind Waker, Knuckles is a glider. So you had two games of like full on gliding. You had Spyro, right? You have all those games of gliding, okay? So their whole thing right now is that they're gambling on the new Monster Hunter game, and they're gambling on the game in hopes for money. But they also know that there's a chance, like me and a lot of other Monster Hunter people, that we're probably gonna hate it. And if we do hate it, there's a reason we hate it. Monster Hunter, what makes Monster Hunter a Monster Hunter game, not an opinion, but what makes it an actual Monster Hunter game is when you're having to step out of the map to repair your stuff. That is what makes it a Monster Hunter game, is when it tells you got to go do this. That's the Monster Hunter moments. That's the moments of Monster Hunter. So when you take out like a little element of Monster Hunter not having that element, That's what's creepy. What's creepy? What's creepy is it's the idea of support, money, cash flow. Now, would we give cash to the Monster Hunter person? I would. I would if I get any access of cash, I'd give it to the Monster Hunter guy. And I'll tell you why I would. This is an opinion coming from me of like why I would give money to the Monster Hunter guy. I'd give him money. In a gap of video games, sometimes in a gap of video games when people are making video games, and if you play one more dang shooter, you're going to get pretty annoyed, right? If you play one more shooter. He is an important part of a branch of video games to get people to play different video games and do different things and think differently. So there's that. There's just that. Now, him getting money, whether he gets money or not, I've also thought about this too. Famitto's projects, the projects that Famitto comes out with. This is a pretty crazy one right here. They're gonna be good projects. I've seen Elden Ring trying to get my attention. I've seen that. But what the Famitto's thing is, he's probably worried because he has to put a lot of work in. And honestly, I cannot see if people do not come together if people don't come together, it could be terrible. Yeah, it could be terrible if people don't come together. When you talk about Famitto, the thing that inspires me about Famitto, or why I have like a certain care for Famitto, is that he's living a dream. He's living a dream. He's got his dream and he's got it going, and he's made very good video game development. Just development in video games that is good. So the fact that they're just like, but that's the pressure that I look at. I look at the pressure of that, because whether you be like, oh, I don't want to give money, that situation. I don't want to give money to this person. I don't want to give money to that person. I don't, That's why we're critical on you. Me being critical on Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Community just needs to know why I'm critical. Farfa, I don't care. We don't care. I don't care, Farfa. Pot of Prosperity is my idea, not your idea. You already know it's my idea, not your idea. But the reason is Yu-Gi-Oh! Has to have, when it comes to America, we love to have American Yu-Gi-Oh! That has a well-balanced ban list. That way we have people that are actually sitting at a table and they're actually showing us something that we can look at. See what I'm saying? If we're gonna sit and look at people playing a card game, we want to make sure that they're doing something. Okay. So why is it creepy? You know what's creepy about it, Farfa? This is what's creepy about Farfa. I understand that you love your Yu-Gi-Oh! I get that. I understand that you love your Yu-Gi-Oh! But another creepy thing that you have to come together with is this. Not all my opinions are good. Okay, not all my opinions are good. But some of my opinions, especially with Pot of Prosperity, is a decent enough thing to talk about. And why is that to be talked about, okay? When a person buys Yu-Gi-Oh! Products, I'm trying to imagine this person purchasing Yu-Gi-Oh! Products, okay? They're most likely right now, because the only avenue that you have right now with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to buy into Popolio. That's looking like the only thing that's coming your way is you're going to only be buying into Popolio. Maybe you get some help from your other decks, maybe. But it's going to be Popolio. And if Popolio comes out, right, there's the thing that people are going to have to buy the structure deck. See what I'm saying? They're going to have to buy the structure deck. And people that are smart enough are going to buy it regardless because it's a topper. It's a deck that can top. It's a deck that just goes into a tournament and it plays a key role. So the TCG definitely would pay attention to the idea of how can they screw you over. Yu-Gi-Oh's nothing but sharks, though. Farfa's a shark just as much as I'm a shark, you know? But like that's exactly what Yu-Gi-Oh community is about. But thinking about that you're not speeding up the process of Yu-Gi-Oh is always a problem I have. That I have a problem not speeding up the process for that when it comes to us Americans, if we're going to try and play their stupid little Yu-Gi-Oh card game, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying stupid because it's actually a really good card game. It's a good card game. It's a good card game, but it's really stupid right now. Why is it stupid? It is stupid that they are taking out the element of skill. That is not making anybody that, you know, people like to like if they want to view my content, they're going to view my content that I'm showing right now. But if they want to view somebody else's content, that's what Yu-Gi-Oh is. That's kind of those moments when they're viewing some other content, right? But if they can't view that content in a healthy way, then that's where all the outrage comes. Now, we be critical. The reason we be critical is, yes, we would make our own Yu-Gi-Oh ban list here in America. We would do that. Well, we're not stupid Americans. We would definitely make our own Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. Okay. So I was talking about the ideology. See what I'm saying? The ideology of how everything functions. Okay. I'm using Yu-Gi-Oh as just an example. Okay. So if it comes to a form of business where Japan's being a little insulting to us, right? Because they're not giving our sets at the right time. We're waiting on our sets. We're getting a starter set, by the way, which guess what? Somebody is being funny right now, saying in a video to you, you want my personal opinion on this product that's coming out, this starter set product? I'm going to give you a personal opinion in a different way. It's going to be a fact opinion, not a personal opinion. You're getting one value card that's maybe a value card. Did you hear what I said? You're getting one card that's a value card, and maybe it's a value card, and maybe you can use it to your advantage for maybe just a sequence of duels. You heard what I said. So basically, the thing that you're spending money in, this is the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! This is the actual problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! You are buying a product that is affordable, okay? You're buying a product that's affordable. You're not learning any brain development. You're not learning any skills. You are getting a preset card. So this preset you are getting, but you are gambling on the fact that you're going to work a strategy around it, because most of the time when you play into this extra deck card, normally when you play into this, you can win, but you can also lose. So everybody that's advertising the product is called like the starter set of Yu-Gi-Oh, which is basically, just like giving $20. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I actually love Konami. And to love Konami is saying to them, hey, I want to have, when I come here to TCG, an exclusive experience that I can only get here in America, versus if I were to fly halfway across the planet, right, and fly all the way to Japan. That's the experience I want. That's exactly the experience that people deserve. They deserve to have a little bit of differences. So you have Americans and Japanese constantly fighting with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's better when we fight against each other, and we're like, no, you gotta come to America. No, you gotta come to Japan. So that was been my whole Akosis. Now the Akosis is I could still think about it. A main consumer of Yu-Gi-Oh! Guess what? You're talking to a main consumer of Yu-Gi-Oh! You're not talking to just somebody that's on their opinions or their ideas. No, you're talking to a guy that any chance I get, see that I could go into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I could have a little competitive deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! And go to a tournament and top in a tournament. I'm thinking about it. Oh,